The Story of the Bloodsucker, 1, by Fernie Mosquera Vargas, a story worthy of the novels of Edgar Allan Poe, took place in Yolumbo, Antioquia, Colombia in the year 1945. It was the year 1945 and the fields of Colombia were stained with blood due to the civil war between godos, conservatives, and cachiporros, liberals. Laureano Gomez, representative of the godos, was in power. Chulavita's paramilitary police paid by the government became famous due to their bloodthirsty behavior. One of these paramilitaries was a man nicknamed Bloodsucker, who became the protagonist of one of the most terrifying stories in Yolumbo, Antioquia, Colombia. Bloodsucker was a cruel and bloodthirsty man who worked as a dump truck driver. He earned 50 cents a month. One day, while he was working, a stranger approached him and asked, "Would you like to earn some extra money?" "Extra money? How much are we talking about?" asked the bloodsucker. 500 pesos, said the stranger. 500 pesos? That's a lot of money, exclaimed the bloodsucker. Yes, it is. How much do you earn now? 50 cents a month, said the bloodsucker. With such a low salary you won't even be able to buy a house even if you work 20 years, and you'll always be a slave, said the stranger. Well, what am I supposed to do? Asked the bloodsucker. It's a very delicate job. You have to make liberals disappear, said the man. What if they catch me? Asked the bloodsucker. Nobody will catch you because I am the law, said the man. And who are you? It's the first time I see you, said the bloodsucker. People call me the sheriff, said the man. Man deal. When am I supposed to start? Asked bloodsucker. I'll expect you this Monday at the local prison, said the sheriff. Who should I ask for? Ask for the sheriff. I'll give you an advance payment. These 100 pesos are for you to buy a good tool, and these 200 pesos are for you to buy a good car so you can get around, said the man. With the money the sheriff gave him, bloodsucker bought a pistol, a machete, and a truck. On Monday, bloodsucker got up early and drove his truck to the municipal jail in Yolumbo to meet with the sheriff. He was wearing a hat, the pistol, and the machete in its sheath. It was about 7 in the morning when bloodsucker arrived at the Yolumbo jail. He greeted the guard. Good morning, how can I help you? Answered the guard. Can I see the sheriff? Asked the bloodsucker. What is your name? Asked the guard. My name doesn't matter. People call me Bloodsucker. After a few minutes the guard returned. Go on, thank you, said bloodsucker. The sheriff was sitting in an elegant office which was decorated with blue flags and a large photograph of Laureano Gomez, the head of the Chulavitas. Good morning, sir, greeted bloodsucker. Good morning, come in and close the door, said the sheriff. How many do you have for me today? Asked bloodsucker. I have 10 for you, said the sheriff. So few? I'm going to miss the trip. Let me see them, said bloodsucker with his Paisa accent. One by one, the 10 prisoners were taken out of their cells and chained. Then bloodsucker took the 10 prisoners in his truck to a remote place on the outskirts of the city. Once they arrived at a lonely place, bloodsucker began to unload the prisoners from the truck. The 10 men cried and begged the bloodsucker on their knees, "Please don't kill us, we have wives and children." But the bloodsucker told them, "That's how I wanted to see you, move." One by one the 10 prisoners were decapitated and thrown down a cliff in a cruel manner. One day his boss asked him to carry out a special mission on a farm. What is it about, boss? It's about getting rid of some liberals who live there, said sheriff. Just give me the address of the place and I'll be there, said the bloodsucker. He arrived at the farm at night together with other Chulavitas as cruel as he. The inhabitants of the farm were all sleeping. Bloodsucker and his men set fire to the house and 4 men and 4 women ran out, one of whom was holding a baby in her arms. Bloodsucker and his men opened fire on the group of men and women, killing them instantly. Only the baby survived the attack. Bloodsucker walked over to where the baby was. He was shocked to see that the baby was smiling at him. He looked at the baby and said, "Who are you laughing with?" He then held the baby in his arms and threw it up, piercing it with his machete. But pierced as it was, the baby was still smiling at him. Bloodsucker was afraid, and after this experience he was never the same because the memory of the child's smile would always haunt him.